Yo, welcome to the History of, where we tell it like it is. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on female conscription in North Korea and the harsh realities of life for women in the military. North Korea has always been a mystery to the outside world, and what we know comes from people who managed to escape, many with stories that are hard to believe. One of the wildest is about mandatory military service, which every man and woman in North Korea has to go through, thanks to Kim Jong-un's regime. Conscription for women, when it started and why. Back in 2015, North Korea decided that educated women had to enlist. At first, women had to serve 7 years, but by 2021, the sentence was cut down to 5 years. The move was all about filling the ranks. North Korea's population took a hit during the famine in the 90s, so they started pulling in more women to make up for the shortage. Now, it's estimated that about 40% of women aged 18 to 25 are in the military. Women have to pass physical fitness tests and health exams, just like the men, before they can join. They also check for contagious diseases like tuberculosis. And while there's a height requirement of at least 4.6, that rule isn't always enforced. Not many people get out of service either. Only super talented students or people with big political connections have a shot at avoiding the draft. Why some women join voluntarily? Believe it or not, some women volunteer to enlist. Why? Because getting into the Korean Workers' Party unlocks a whole new world of perks. It comes with better rations, better jobs, higher pay, and a chance at a decent life. That's a big deal when the average meal is just rice, cabbage soup, and a little salted radish, barely enough for someone doing hard labor all day. Life in the North Korean military. Life in the military is straight up grueling. Soldiers aren't just training. They're out in the fields doing free labor on farms or working construction. And it's even tougher for women. On top of all that heavy lifting, they're expected to cook, clean, and handle chores for their male comrades. They've even got a nickname, cooking pot lid drivers. After a long day, these women head back to cramped barracks, sharing a room with 24 other soldiers, sleeping on thin rice hull mattresses. Hygiene is a joke. Basic supplies like period products were almost non-existent until 2015, forcing women to use bandages as makeshift pads. And with the constant stress and poor diet, many women stop menstruating altogether. The abuse no one talks about. The hard labor is just the tip of the iceberg. Harassment and abuse are part of everyday life for these women. Male officers harass female soldiers with no consequences, and speaking out isn't an option. If a woman reports an assault, she risks being blacklisted from joining the Workers' Party, which would ruin her future. So many women stay silent, enduring unspeakable acts without help. Pregnancies are treated like the woman's fault, and soldiers are forced to terminate pregnancies in dangerous ways, often without anesthesia. And for those unlucky enough to get caught in relationships with high-ranking officers, the military takes over, forcing traumatic abortions to protect the reputation of those in power. Punishment in the military. The punishments are as brutal as the work. One small mistake and everyone pays the price. Defectors talk about being made to stand outside in freezing cold weather in nothing but their underwear. Others were forced to plunge their hands into icy water and then grab cold iron bars, ripping the skin off their palm. The dark side, the pleasure squad. For some women, the military seems like a better option than Kim Jong-un's pleasure squad, which is exactly what it sounds like. This twisted operation has been around since Kim Il-sung's reign, disbanded for a bit, but rebooted in 2015 by Kim Jong-un. Women in the squad are selected based on their looks, and they're kept in mansions to entertain top officials with parties, massages, and more. After serving up to 10 years, they're retired into arranged marriages with military officers, often with hush money and appliances as parting gifts. The hard truth. No matter what path they take, whether in the military or the pleasure squad, North Korean women face unimaginable struggles. Even those who survive the military come out scarred by trauma, abuse, and neglect. But despite everything, these women have shown incredible strength and resilience, proving that no matter the circumstances, they can endure.